This is music, and this is a compilation of compilations. Tony from the Tainted Lord 87 channel. Go and check it out. It's awesome. Just started a fun thread slash challenge right here on YouTube. Basically, he wants us to show some compilations from our collections. I do like multi-artist compilations because I like the idea of listening to lots of different artists and songs and maybe even different styles in one sitting. So I do have a small collection of compilations, and in this video I'm going to show you some of them. I have some CDs and I have some vinyl that I just picked out from my collection. And the CDs are close to home, and you've already seen them in the thumbnail because I've shown these a ton of times before. They're all Danish underground metal compilations. So yeah, of course, this one here, If You Were From Denmark, Volume 1, full of early 90s extreme metal underground music from the Danish scene at the time. Uh, Great stuff. Some of the artists on here: Detest, Ill Disposed, Geronimo, Dark Region. They were a local band even to the town I grew up in. Caustic, just to mention a few. And we have If You Were From Denmark, Volume 2. Same story. Early 90s underground extreme metal bands from Denmark. On this one, among others, we have Frozen Sun, we have Sacrificial. They actually have a song on here, Infernal Death. Cyanotic, they have a fantastic song on here. Dominus, there's a song by them on here too. And Beyond Serenity as well. And Morpheus. Morpheus, they were a death doom band local to my hometown. They later changed their style to melodic death metal, and then at some point, uh, they had gone through so many lineup changes that the original lineup was completely gone. So they changed their name at that point too. But yeah, there you go. Again, same story. We also have If You Were From Denmark, Volume 3, 100% death metal. I would say mainly death metal, but whatever. Again, same story, early 90s, extreme metal from the Danish underground. Some of the artists on this one: uh, Angel, Accelerator, Death, Saturnus, more of a death doom band. Autumn Leaves, they have a song on here as well. Mercenary, actually, they have a song on here too. And Catharsis, just again to mention a few. So, same story, early 90s extreme metal from the underground. And then, of course, the last one, now we're in the mid 90s. Volume 4, the one that's known as the bad one. A lot of people did not like this one because they had branched out into other like rock and metal genres, not just extreme metal. And there is some questionable stuff on here for sure, but it's a good snapshot of how confused the Danish underground scene was in the 90s. I think like it was everywhere else. Uh, you got some groove metal on here. Grope, Imputators, they had a fantastic drummer. Zirkus as well, those kind of like funky groove metal. So was Imputators. Um, and Trend, that's another kind of groove metal band on here. You have some traditional metal too, like straight up, like Courage or Courage. And yeah, there's a band called Erector on here. And I was actually in the band at the time, so I actually play the guitar on this one. It says that our song is like 7 minutes long. That's a misprint. It's not that long. Um, it's a great honor, and I take pride in being on the one that's known as the bad one. I don't think our song is that bad, if I'm being honest. I think it's okay. I think there's some good things in it for sure. But the best song on here, in my opinion, is Mortal Dread's Vicious Beyond, because that's just Invocator like death thrash. So yeah, this one is a little bit more questionable. Uh, but I'm on this one, and I take great pride in being on bad one. Now there's this one here, Hell Comes Around. That's a different series of underground compilations. This one is even more local because this is just bands from the city of Odense, which is my birth town, uh, from and around. I think there's some bands from some other towns, but it's on the same island as Odense. So Odense, that's where Hans Christian Andersen was born. Hell Comes Around, HCA, Hans Christian Andersen, HCA. You get it? So yeah, it's just some of the artists on this one. Mindmare, that's actually the melodic death metal band that kind of grew out of the death doom band Morpheus from the 90s. This is from the 2000s. Um, Angrified, they have a song on here. Unbelief, they got a song on here too. Anoxia and Numbnuts, they're on here. And Grimthors, they have a song on here too. And I would actually join Grimthors later. So I don't play in this one, but there's a band on here that I would join later. There is a third, Hell Comes Around, which was also released on vinyl. I do have it on vinyl, but I'm not going to show it in this one. I am going to show you Hell Comes Around 2, though, the second coming. Same story. Underground bands local to the city of Odense and around. On this one, you got Phantomizer. Unbelief, they have a song on this one as well. And Anoxia have a song on this one too. There's a band called Foot to Face. Mindmare, they also have a song on this one. And Angrified, they also have a song on this one. And Grimthus also have a song on this one, a song called Lifebound. And I was actually in the band at the time, so I play the guitar right here in this song, Lifebound. So there you go, just some underground compilations from Denmark. Now let's turn to the vinyl. First, Radical Change of Style, Coast to Coast FM. This is a compilation of melodic hard rock AOR from the 90s. Sorry, from the 80s, not the 90s, from the 80s. And this one is fantastic. I love this one. You got Dark Star. You have Magnum on here too. White Sister, State Trooper, a bunch of other great bands with some great songs. So I really enjoy that one. Change of Style again. US Speedcore Invasion. US Thrash Metal. What's interesting about this one is that it has some early output from a lot of US thrash bands that will become well known later on. So, for example, you have Legacy. That's actually Testament. They were called Legacy back in the day. Ruffians, which is a band that had a certain Carl Albert on vocals, who would later join Vicious Rumors. Uh, Blind Illusion and Heathen, of course, they are pretty well known now. DRI, they have two songs on because they're so short. Stone Vengeance, maybe a little bit more obscure. This is Christian speed metal with really violent and hateful lyrics. Death Angel and Sentinel Beast misspelled. So I think that's kind of a fun little detail there. I mean, they even have the logo here, so they could just check that out. But anyways, I like that. That's fun. Good songs on here too. Good artists. More thrash metal, but perhaps a pond. UK Thrash Assault. So the UK, they did have a thrash metal scene, but it was never as well known as, say, the American and the German ones were. But they had a lot of thrash bands, and just check out the Contract and Block book and compilation. Some of the bands were, of course, more well known. Lawnmower Death and Acid Rain, and I would say Sacrilege too, probably, and Hydrovane. So yeah, and some of these are on here. Hydrovane, I have a couple of songs. Sniper, War Dance, Pandemia. Still don't know how to pronounce this. Yamendos Rill, Flamendos Rill. I don't know. But this one is really cool. It has some really good songs on here, and it's nice to get some kind of peek into the British thrash scene at the time. Up next, this one here, Till Death Do Us Part. This one is cool because this one just has like a lots of different styles on here, like from Deaf American slash Def Jam. Um, so you got Danzig, you got Black Crows, you have a Wolfsbane song, you got Slayer, Trouble. So just a nice mix of genres on here. And the singer from the band I was in on this one here, he actually had this one on vinyl back in the day, and I remember sitting around at his place listening to this. So yeah, connections all over the place. We got some thrash again, stars on thrash. This one is just cool because you have lots of awesome thrash metal bands on here. Just to mention some of them: Flotsam and Jetsam, Mucky Pop, um, SOD, Paradox, Snow White, Sacred Reich, Hades, Atrophy, Gothic Slam, a whole bunch of really cool thrash metal bands. So this one is a nice listen too. The next one is just cool because it has a lot of songs on it. Protect the Innocent, 30 metal monsters, and you got lots of diversity on here too in terms of music, ranging from Steppenwolf and Black Sabbath, Deep Purple, right? Some of the early stuff. Got some Judas Priest, got some Ozzy, have some Dio, Cinderella, Rush, Anthrax, Dogs D'Amour, Magnum, Vow Wow, Megadeth, Saxon, Lita Ford, Acid Rain, Dream Theater, um, Exodus, Tiger Tales, 30 songs, lots of different styles. This is great. I love this one. And it sounds good, although you have a lot of tracks cramped together um, on the two records in this one. Great. I love it. Up next, this one here, No Substitute for Steel. This one's cool because this is all stuff that's obscure to me. There's a band called Assassin, but I don't think it's the German band Assassin. I'm not sure. I don't think it is. Um, but yeah, so you got some heavy metal songs by some pretty obscure artists from back in the day, and I just love the cover artwork too. That's actually really cool. So that's nice. Up next, we have the next one here. This is Holland Heavy Metal Volume 2. The only band on this one that I knew was Vortex. The other bands, AZA, Nexus, The Wild, and Second Skin, I hadn't heard of these before. This one has a bit of a carnivore vibe to it. This one is really cool too. Dutch bands, Underground. I don't really know them, but if there's somebody out there that knows these bands, let me know. Up next, this one is, yeah, it's Smili Provinsen, Holbæk 700 år. So a compilation of songs by very different styles of artists from Holbæk Kommune. You got some folk, you got some choir music, some jazz, um, different things. Uh, the reason why I have this one is that there's a band, I think it's this band called Mother's Underwear. It's kind of like an 80s heavy metal band. This is the only thing they ever, I think, recorded and released. There's also kind of a fun, kind of more post-punk kind of band called Nordvestsjællands Dødskult. Uh, but I bought this one to be able to listen to the Mother's Underwear song. The other stuff is cool too, but it's like jazz, swing jazz, folk music, church choirs and stuff, and they're all like local to the town and municipality of Holbæk, which is in Denmark. So this is from the 80s. And the last one, I guess the legendary Doomsday News. I have the picture disc version. And it sounds really good. It was actually listed as the non-picture disc version, and so I was surprised that the picture disc version showed up. But it sounds just as good as you know black vinyl, so I don't have a problem with this one here. It's of course an older picture disc, and there was a little bit more noise on them back in the day, but there's nothing of that on here. But yeah, this one has Rage and Death Row and Coroner and Tankard and Sabat. Uh, Misspelled with two T's. I don't think that it's normally spelled with two T's, not as far as I remember. Halloween, Vendetta, Celtic Frost Creator, and Voivod. So yeah, this one is pretty cool. I have a couple of other Doomsday News compilations too, but this is the first one, I think. So that's cool. I have some more uh, compilations on CD and on vinyl, but that's what I chose to show in this video. Go and check out Tony's channel, Tainted Lord 87. And if you have a bunch of cool collections, compilations in your collection, why not make a video and join in on the fun? Thanks for watching.